Hi, this is David Wilden. The focus of this video is to share with you what to look for in a personal planning system so that you can optimize your contributions, optimize your success, and have that deep sense of fulfillment. I'll review with you why a personal planning system is so vital, so key for you to be able to optimize your success. I'll also demo a breakthrough personal planning system called the Creating You Planner. This is a web app that you can access on your computer, on your tablet, and your smartphone. Let me quickly introduce myself so you know who I am and why it is I'm speaking on this topic. I am an improvement and turnaround strategist and executive. So I've had the opportunity to work as a direct report and advisor to top government officials, to CEOs of large respected companies and others. Oftentimes I was heading up major improvement initiatives or turnaround initiatives that excitingly resulted in billions of dollars of savings, tremendous new revenue generation, and critical mission improvements. And I personally love strategy. I love organizational improvement, but most importantly, I love personal improvement. I'm also very passionate about just rolling up your sleeves and making things happen. I've experienced some great success in my life, but I've also experienced painful rejection and failure. I likewise have close friends who have been in top positions in industry and government, and they were accomplishing absolutely remarkable things that blessed the lives of thousands and even millions. And then for nothing more than political reasons, the rug was pulled out from them. And these friends weren't especially vocal. In other words, they didn't go around and constantly brag about themselves. They just loved getting things done. But they became the victims of very well-known people, and I won't mention names because you probably know who they are, who played the PR game extremely well. They knew how to get in the limelight, and they had incredibly greedy aspirations. Essentially, they had their line of sight, and they would destroy anyone and everything that was in their way so that they could get exactly what they wanted. So probably like you, I have witnessed personally and through the lives of dear friends, the carnage of greedy and aspiring people. So I believe that regardless of what's happening around us, we need to develop a strong anchor in our lives. We need to truly love God and never give up, no matter how much pain we may be consumed by, no matter what's going on. We need to continually believe in God and also in ourselves, despite the war that may be raging within or outside of ourselves. And we need to focus and dedicate our life to a true purpose. A true purpose is about others. It's not about personal greed and aspirations. It's about helping others in the very best way that we can. It's when we roll up our sleeves that we find the greatest joy, the greatest sense of fulfillment. So my passion is to genuinely help people to develop that strong anchor in their lives and to discover and to turn their purpose and their vision into reality. And wouldn't it be incredible if we were all focused on doing that same thing so that we can strengthen and help each other? So I can remember when I took on a certain leadership role, and my leader suggested at the time that I look into the Franklin Planner. Now, that was a paper-based personal planning system that was sold by Franklin Covey and was created by Hiram Smith. And that experience, that system changed my life. I was absolutely amazed at how powerful that personal planning system was and increasing my ability to be able to plan, to take action, and to see results in my personal life. It also had a tremendous impact on increasing my capacity to be able to lead and manage. So essentially, I learned the skills of being able to plan, to organize, to prioritize, to keep track of, and follow up with hundreds of projects and tasks. Instead of depending on my memory, on notes, on certifications, I had a very practical system by my side that was there to help me to be able to succeed. And within a short period of time after I began to use this system, I was provided leadership opportunities where I essentially led hundreds of project teams across multiple organizations, and I reported to a top government official. So I discovered how powerful the right personal planning system can be. And so I've used planners throughout my life. I found that the right one can help you to define and to turn your vision into reality. It can help you, more importantly, to improve yourself in critical areas so that you can actually become who you yearn to be. So it helps you, probably most importantly, to be persistent, to stay focused on your vision, and to stay inspired. Without having a system to help you, you take a big risk of becoming a dreamer and not a doer. And when that happens, when you become just a dreamer, it's easy to lose hope and confidence in yourself. Your vision and your dreams become dimmer and dimmer. So after living in the East Coast for many, many years, my wife and I felt it was important for us to move from the East Coast to the West so that our family could be closer to family that lived out here. And I ended up working for Franklin Covey for a few years. And that was at a very difficult time for them, as the world was quickly, almost overnight, transitioning from a paper to a digital world. And my role involved providing leadership to project teams throughout the corporation to essentially help Franklin Covey through the transition it needed to make. So these teams focused on everything from improving operations to developing new products to improving existing ones to cutting costs and so forth. And that experience helped me to become extremely familiar with the works of Stephen R. Covey, Hiram Smith, and many other thought leaders in the area of personal growth and leadership. And so those experiences really sharpened my desire to focus more on helping people to really succeed in their lives, to really help them focus on their purpose. So I love the Franklin Planner, but my world is progressively becoming more and more digital. And using a paper planner just wasn't going to work for me. So I had helped Franklin Covey to develop digital personal planning apps and tools, and those really flourished for a time, but for some reason, Franklin Covey let them fizzle out. And so I ultimately decided to develop the Creating You Planner, which is really designed on helping people to discover and to turn their purpose and vision into reality. So I, as you can imagine, have very high standards and expectations regarding what constitutes a great planner. And I'll demo to you the Creating You Planner in just a bit, but I wanted you to first understand what guided the development. And the reason this is so important is it'll help you to really understand how to fully leverage the system. So let me start by reviewing the biggest problems with almost all personal planning systems today. They are task and scheduling centric. They're fixated on lists and tasks. They're focused on scheduling. They don't help people to be able to effectively assess and plan. And without a great plan, where are you going? Don't get me wrong, I love productivity, but it is too easy to be overtaken with tasks that are urgent and not important to you to be able to achieve your purpose. That is a recipe for disaster for you personally and for organizations. These task and scheduling apps are not designed to help you to discover, to grow, and to turn your purpose into reality. In other words, they're not designed to help you to know and to stay focused on truly what's most important. They keep you busy, but they don't help you to be strategic or effective. Everyone today is looking for a quick fix, for a life hack. But breakthroughs don't occur all at once. They are built one step at a time, so it's important that you use a system that helps you to stay focused and stay motivated. Let me share with you my first experience in really learning what it takes to achieve a breakthrough in your life. So I wasn't a good student in high school. My father was an educator. I grew up in university towns. I was surrounded by PhDs. That turned me off. I found that so many brilliant people with PhDs are extremely specialized, but they don't have common sense. They don't have practical skills. And I grew up building homes, working on farms, and doing hard, strenuous work. Even though my father had his doctorate and was an educator, he believed in hard work. But I made the mistake of not putting my heart and putting hard work into my education. And I didn't have a lot of confidence in that area. So when I was 19 years old, I was asked by my church to serve a 2-year mission in Korea. Wow, that changed my life. I needed to learn Korean and to do so quickly. And Korean is in the category of most difficult languages for Americans to learn. And initially, I really struggled. I developed remorse and could see how vital it was to know how to effectively study so that I could master new skills effectively. And with a language, you just can't fake it. Either you know the language or you don't. So I had spent a couple of months focused on learning the language, but when I actually went to the country, I was in shock. In fact, when I got on the airplane to fly over there, I didn't know what language the announcer was speaking in. But when I got to the country, at first I loved it. I loved the novelty, the adventure. And then reality began to set in and it became hard. I lived in very humble circumstances. I slept on the floor. I lived with Koreans. I ate their food. And despite my best efforts to learn the language, most Koreans, when I was initially there, had a hard time understanding me. So I kept studying and I kept praying and praying. And I felt that no matter what I did, I was failing. Nothing seemed to work. And that failure made me turn inward. I became quiet. I felt hurt. I became stiff and tense. And I was getting worse and worse. The one thing that I had confidence in was my hard work. And I figured that brute force was going to get me there. So every day I'd get up at 4:30 and I would study whenever I had a chance. But it wasn't really working that well. I felt stiff. I felt tense. And I began to notice that I was getting extremely worn down mentally, emotionally, and physically. And then something changed. I figured I needed to pray with faith or a determination to receive inspiration, and most importantly, to act on that. And I felt prompted to take a whole new approach to learning the language. And that tenseness that I had felt, it was replaced with calmness, and I felt more relaxed. So I found personally that rote memorization just didn't work for me at all. It was pointless. Others can do it, but I couldn't. And I needed to stop comparing myself with others. So I was surrounded by individuals that had developed incredibly, almost photographic memories. But I found that I needed to understand at a much deeper level the big picture of what it is I was going to communicate. I needed to understand the whys. And I needed to also go down from the whys, and I needed to create my own outline. I didn't need to look at someone's outline of what it is I needed to focus on. I needed to create my own outline so that I could really take that why, I could segment that, and I could really let things sink deep into my heart and soul. And I needed to initially really focus on understanding everything in my own native language, English. And when I understood the why and the what in my heart and in my mind in English, when it really began to sink in that I did the same thing in Korean. And after I had that structure in my mind, within just a few days, I memorized volumes and volumes of content. And it all made sense. I had that map in my mind. I could see the connections. And then I began to feel calmer and more peaceful as I interacted with others. Instead of focusing on myself and how I came across and me performing, I instead really focused on others, on them. And because I did that, I was engaged. I really wanted to know everything I could about them. And something magical happened. My language skills really took off. I was able to connect with people in a wonderful way. That was a powerful experience for me. I had learned how miserable becoming self-absorbed can be. And when you really focus on a purpose that's beyond yourself, magical things can happen. So doing something very hard being confronted with something that's very hard in your life can change everything for you. When something is challenging, almost impossibly difficult, and you weather through and you endure, something switches on. Success in one area gives you hope that you can succeed in other areas. That was an absolute turning point in my life. And to be honest, I get a little peeved when I see people claiming that you can come to their seminar or workshop and you'll have an absolute breakthrough in your life. Breakthroughs seldom come from just attending a seminar or a workshop. Sure, education can help us, but they're not typically enough. For us to be able to create true breakthroughs in our life, we need to persistently work at something. Breakthroughs come when you first of all discover your why. Now, your why is your ideal purpose and vision, and your why is different than everyone else's. And you can't just understand this superficially. It's not just this mental exercise. It's not enough to write a purpose and a vision statement. Your purpose, your why needs to sink deep within you. It's something that you'll want to study out. You'll want to pray about it. And yes, even when you initially discover that why, there are going to be many times that you have doubts. But when you use a system and you're persistent and you're doing the right things, those doubts will be progressively replaced with that deep sense of confidence, of assurance. Breakthroughs occur when you develop your own strategy on how you're going to move towards and achieve your purpose and vision. And when you implement that strategy each and every way in a way that's going to work for you. So your strategy is going to be different from other people, again, based on what's going to work best for you. So I shared how I tried to learn Korean like those around me, and it just didn't work. So I had to really find a way that would best work for me. And when I did, I started to see absolute breakthroughs. And so you need to find that strategy that's going to best work for you. Breakthroughs can begin to occur when you use an effective system to help you succeed. It's been proven time and time again that just having a vague sense of your vision or your goals, it doesn't work. And I'll get into some important statistics shortly that bear that out. The right planning system helps you to go from vision to action to results. It helps you to stay focused, to stay motivated, and to be progressing. Without a system, you're just winging it, which is an absolute recipe for failure. A study by the University of Scranton found that only 8% of people achieve their New Year's resolutions. 92% don't. So what do the 8% do that enables them to achieve their goals? A Harvard Business Study found that those who have goals, they're 10 times more successful than those that do not have goals. And the trouble with not having a goal is you spend your life running around and you never progress. So a goal gives you a focus. It gives you something that allows you to measure yourself against. The University of Scranton study found that people who set specific and challenging goals are 90% more likely to achieve those goals than those who set very vague and easy goals. It also found that people who set goals that are aligned with their values, they're much more likely to achieve them. A study by the Dominican University of California found that people who plan out their goals carefully, they're 42% more likely to achieve them. The study also found that people who plan out their goals in detail are much more likely to achieve them than those who only have a general sense of what it is they want to achieve. The same study found that people who develop an action plan for their goals are 40% more likely to achieve them than those who don't. They found that people who track their progress in working towards their goal, they're twice as likely to achieve them than those who do not. And those who create SMART goals, who develop action plans, who track their progress, and provide weekly progress reports to a friend, family member, or a coach, they achieve their goals 76 to 95% of the time. You want to make sure that you create a vision and goals that are really aligned with your sweet spot. And when you focus or you concentrate on your sweet spot, you're you're deeply motivated. Anthony Robbins said, one reason so few of us achieve what we truly want is that we never direct our focus. We never concentrate our power. Most people dabble their way through life, never deciding to master anything in particular. To inspire yourself most deeply, it's important to align with what you feel in your soul is your purpose. According to a study by the University of Pennsylvania, 71% of people who had a strong sense of purpose achieved their goals. So to optimize your success, you need a personal planning system that helps you to understand your unique sweet spot and purpose. So this helps you to know where and how to optimize your contributions, how to optimize your success, how to have that greatest sense of fulfillment. We just learned that having a sense of purpose increases your chance of achieving your goal by 71%. But research also shows that it helps all other aspects of your life. It helps your happiness, your health and longevity, your emotional well-being, your personal relationships, your mental strength, your wealth. The personal planning system needs to help you to increase your focus so that you're more inclined to succeed. Instead of being vague, it needs to help you to begin to drill down on where it is you're going to focus. And that increased focus includes creating a vision and goals and action plans and tasks that are all aligned. And as we just reviewed, all of this greatly increases your chances of success. The personal planning system should increase your self-confidence. When you have a plan and you're progressing, you feel more in control of your life, and this helps you to feel more confident, to feel more excited about your future. The system should also motivate you and encourage you to regularly visualize. It helps you to regularly visualize in a very powerful way. People who vividly picture their goals are 100 to 140% more likely to accomplish their goals. Visualizing your goals each day accelerates your success. So top performers in almost every discipline, they leverage visualization. To the brain, visualizing can be just as powerful as the real positive experience. Visualization includes creating a mental image of the desired outcome. And when you visualize, you want to include as many senses as you can. You want to see yourself accomplishing the goal. You want to hear the excitement. You want to feel the warmth of your contributions. You want to taste the success. You'll want to smell the excitement in the air. The system needs to help you by putting you on a path to sustained improvement. So Ralph Waldo Emerson, he wrote, sow a thought and you reap an action. Sow an act and you reap a habit. Sow a habit and you reap a character. Sow a character and you reap a destiny. So you need a system that's going to help you with your thoughts and emotions, help you to take the right actions, help you to develop or break habits, help you to develop the character traits that you want and yearn for so that you're able to achieve that destiny that you desire. So a person can't reach their potential if they don't consciously nurture their thoughts and emotions and take the right decisive actions, cultivate healthy habits, and develop the right character traits. The question to ask yourself is, does the planner, the personal planning system, help you to eliminate those negative beliefs that are holding you back and replace them with the kind of beliefs that are going to help you to progress, to move forward, to have confidence? The number one thing that holds people back is a negative or a limiting mindset that they have about themselves. That is why top performance coaches will tell you that 80 to 90% of success is tied to mindset. So our mindset it determines how we think, how we feel, how we behave. And mindset determines how we see the world, how we approach challenges. If we believe that we're not capable of success, then we're less likely to take risks, to put in the effort necessary to achieve our goals. When we have a positive, a growth mindset, we're focused on those things that have helped us to be successful in the past, then we're more likely to be successful. And we're more likely to take risks, to learn from our mistakes, to persist in the face of challenges. And when we allow the negative or fixed mindset to overcome us, we're more likely to give up. We're more likely to be afraid of failure, to doubt our abilities. And this can lead to self-sabotage and a lack of progress. So the key question is, does the planner help you to eliminate those limiting beliefs that hold you back and replace them with positive beliefs? In your planner, beliefs is towards the very top, and that's for a good reason. Now you can access the planner on your computer or on your tablet or on your smartphone. And when you click on the belief section, you have content that prepares you to identify your limiting and your empowering beliefs. So notice here that I can click on content, or I can just go through. So notice here that I can click on content, or I can just go through the content on this page. I also can click on the video to get a good video overview. And if I want some tips on how to use this particular section, then I can click on the app tips, and there's a video that will provide you some context there. So when you're ready, you have a couple of choices. You can click on add your responses, or you can click on see a sample. I'm going to go ahead and click on add your responses. What you do here is simply put in a title. You could put my beliefs and put in a date, whatever you want to do there. And then you've got tips that can help you along the way. So you'll want to take a look at each question, review the tips, respond to the question, and add an image. The image allows you, when you look at your empowering beliefs or your limiting beliefs board, you'll be able to see not only the text, but the image, and that helps you to better visualize. The other option is to go ahead and add in a sample. So I can click on a sample here, and I could use that. Notice it says save as mine. So I can go ahead and adjust this any way I want to, and then I can click on save as mine. So now we have a sample. We have an example here in the system. I'm going to click on my empowering beliefs, and you can see what my empowering beliefs are. You can see how I will make these beliefs mine. And then this is something you'll want to look at and review, visualize every day. Also, you can click on my limiting beliefs. You won't want to take a look at this as often, but the purpose of taking a look on occasion at the limiting beliefs is so that you can understand how the limiting beliefs that you have are hurting you. So this gives you motivation to really press forward and to get rid of those limiting beliefs. So does the system help you to discover and to define your ideal destiny? Most systems fail to guide you in discovering your true calling and charting a path towards that. Studies show that people are 200 to 300% more likely to achieve their goal if their goals are aligned with their sweet spot and their purpose. In the Create a You Planner, there are two key portions of the planner that help you to identify and define your desired destiny. The first is the sweet spot section, and the second is the vision board. Your sweet spot is where you believe you can make the greatest difference and have the most success, and it includes a focus on your purpose. So when you click on the sweet spot section, you have content that prepares you to discover and define your ideal sweet spot. So I would come to the content section of this Create a You Planner and start there. You'll see that it includes a diagram. You can go through the diagram and get familiar with each one of these key questions. You can also look at videos. These videos will prepare you to not only understand the concepts, but more importantly, think about how to best respond to each one of these key questions. You also have an apps tip video that provides you an overview of how to use this particular section of the website. In the content section, you'll notice here that you have those 4 key questions that you'll be drilling into. And the questions include, who do you want to become? What are your noble passions? What are your natural talents and strengths? And where are their needs? When you find a niche that intersects with each one of these key factors, then what you're doing is you're uncovering your ideal sweet spot. So after you've gone through the content and when you're ready, then you want to come over and you'll want to add your responses. And so I would start with, who do I want to become? I would start there. Then I would come down to my noble passions, my talents and strengths, and then where are their needs? Now, notice here that when I click on add my response, you go ahead and put in your title, who I want to become, put in your date, look at the questions, look at the tips, and begin to respond to each one of them. And so I would do that for each one of the sections. At the end, you'll want to come up to My Sweet Spot and add your responses there. Now, part of what this is going to do is going to take some of your responses and insert them as a draft. But then what you'll want to do is come in here and refine each one of these. Come up typically with like a one-line response to each one of those. Now, once you've added your response, then you'll be able to click on My Sweet Spot. And you'll see this diagram, and then you'll see your response to each one of the key questions. And in the very center, you'll see your ideal sweet spot. So now that you've identified your sweet spot, you are prepared to create your vision board. And a study published in the Journal of Applied Psychology found that people who review their vision board for 15 minutes each day, they are 40% more likely to achieve their goals than those that didn't review their vision board. To achieve your desired destiny, you want to use the inside-out approach to strengthen yourself in all key aspects of your life. And your vision board is based on the model that we learned about earlier from Ralph Waldo Emerson. And essentially, his message is that it's our thoughts and emotions that lead to actions, and our actions lead to habits. And all of this creates character traits within ourselves that help us, from our thoughts, emotions, habits, and so forth, to be in a good position to be able to reap the results of that destiny that we desire. Now, what I would encourage you to do is to come in, go through this content. You can click on each one of these items here and learn more. You've got videos that help you to not only understand the concept, but more importantly, begin to think through how you can best respond to these questions. And you've got your app tips video here. But then when you're ready, you have a couple of options. One, you can come in here and look at a sample, click on that sample, look at the tips as you go through this information, make whatever adjustment that you want to, and then you have that option to save as mine. The other option is to come over here and just add a vision board fresh. So you'd add your title, you've got tips again, you'd add the text and the images. Then you'd click save. Now, every day, you're going to want to come into your vision board, and you're going to want to take time to view this vision board. Notice that you have your destiny statement there. You have the character traits that you're going to be focused on, the habits that you're going to develop or break, the major action plans that you're going to focus on, the kind of emotional traits that you're going to create within yourself, and the kind of thoughts, the thought patterns that are going to become your mindset. So we would encourage you to come in and review your vision board every day, and then go a step further. Take advantage of the power of visualization. So take a few minutes to visualize as well. So does the planner help you to create a personal growth plan that's based on that sweet spot of yours and your vision? When you develop a personal growth plan that aligns to the vision that you have for yourself, that deeply inspires you. You are significantly more likely to implement your growth plan and ultimately to achieve. So when you go to the growth plan section of the Creating You Planner, like with the other sections, you want to start by looking at the content and the videos to help prepare you to develop your growth plan. And so when you're ready, you have a couple of options. One, you can add fresh your growth plan. Go ahead and add a title, date it, and then it's going to pull in information from the vision board that you've created. And so when you create your growth plan, you're focused in on your vision. So everything in the system helps you to press forward, to move forward towards your vision. And you can make whatever adjustments you want to here. The other option is to look at a sample. And again, in this sample, you can go in and make whatever adjustments that you want to, save that as yours. And then once you've created your growth plan, you'll want to come in and review this on a regular basis. You can see in very concise terms what you're going to do to move forward towards reaching your destiny. What are you going to focus on to help you develop the character traits that you hunger for? The same thing with the habits. What are the key actions that you're going to focus on? And what are you going to concentrate on doing when it comes to your emotions and your thoughts? So you have the right kind of mindset to ensure that you can be successful. So another key question is, does the planner help you to create detailed goals that are aligned with your vision? When you develop goals that align with your vision and purpose, you're significantly more likely to succeed. Remember that a Harvard business study found that people with goals are 10 times more likely to achieve them than those without goals. And a study that was conducted by the University of California that found that people who carefully plan out their goals, they're 42% more likely to achieve them than those who do not plan out their goals. They found that people who set specific and challenging goals are 90% more likely to achieve them than those who set vague or easy goals. So notice here that goals is right after the vision board growth plan. And when you're ready to go to the goals section, click here. And I would encourage you to optimize your chances of success. Go through the content, get familiar with what constitutes a good goal. Look at the video as well. And then when you're ready, go ahead and click on Add a Goal. You've got tips to help you throughout this whole process here. You create a goal title. You start by creating a general focus goal. And the tips will explain what that is and why that's important. And then as it makes sense, you would click on a SMART goal worksheet. And this would help you to establish SMART goals. And then you would go ahead and establish a start date and end date, the priority of the goal. And then you have the ability to track the status of your goal until you've completed it. So does the planner help you to define and to nurture the character traits that are necessary for you to achieve your vision? Building a strong character is vital, and daily attention and development of these traits are often overlooked in conventional planning systems. In the Creating You Planner, we recommend that you review your vision board daily, including a description of the character traits that you're developing. We also encourage you to tap into the power of visualization daily to help you succeed. So does the system emphasize and provide you with the tools that you need so that you can establish, foster, and monitor habits that will help you to succeed? A study in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people who review their habits daily were 150% more likely to be satisfied with their progress and 170% less likely to give up on their goals. So to access the habits section of the Creating You Planner, you just come down to Habits. And when you come to this section, for the first time, you want to review the content so that you can know what the keys are to optimizing your chances of creating and maintaining habits. There's a video that you can look at, app tips, so you know how to navigate in this section. When you're ready, you can either add a habit fresh, or you can see samples and make the samples yours. So I'm going to go ahead and look at one of the samples here. This one is Visualize. And I have an option to make as mine this habit. So I could come in here, make whatever adjustments I want to the name, to the description, to the habit image. I also can identify the order number of the habit relative to the other habits. So in what order do I want it to show up? I can put in the extent to which I feel like I've mastered this habit, and then I can move, if I want to, this habit into an inactive section. And so let's go ahead and we're going to make this habit mine. I'm going to actually make some of these other habits mine as well. And now when I come in, and you want to do this on a daily basis, I want to say, okay, how did I do with my habits today? And I have the option of scoring myself on a scale from 1 to 3. 1 is, oh, I barely did it. 2 is, I did an average job of carrying out the habit today. And 3 is, boy, I knocked it out of the park. So I could say, okay, I really did a great job today in carrying out that habit. And then I can mark that as complete. Let's say I did a journal entry today, but it was very short, didn't put much effort into it. I did do a good job of pondering and planning today, a fairly an average job. So I did that, and then I focused on mastering my thoughts and emotions. I really knocked it out of the park today. I visualized and I really worked on it. And so I'm going to mark that as complete. Now I have the ability to be able to come into the last 7 days and see my progress. So you can see how many times I completed it there, and you can see my score. And this is going to, over a week's period, it'll come up with an average score. And then I can also look at the last 30 days, the same kind of metrics there. So this is extremely powerful. It can help you to either develop new habits that are hopefully aligned with your vision, or even to focus on breaking habits that you want to let go. So does the system help you to develop and implement your goals, your action plans, and tasks that are critical for your progress? A good planning system is going to provide you with the tools so that you can effectively translate your vision and your goals into action. Planner, you have an action plan section. And so you would come into the section like with others. There's content you want to take a look at and a video. There's also an app tips video to show you how to navigate through this section. When I'm ready, I can go ahead and add a plan. And this is really simple and straightforward. You've got the plan title, the start date, end date, the priority, the status, action plan details. You can identify what goals the action plan is tied to. And so let's go ahead now and take a look at the tasks. So when I click on the tasks here, I can go ahead and add tasks, put in the name, identify the action plan that it's tied to, identify whether or not I want to focus on this task today. So if I click on, yes, I want to focus on this task today, it's going to show up under today's tasks. And you put in your start date, your end date, your priority, your status. You can also tie the tasks with contacts that you would have in the system. And that will show up, that this record would show up in the contact record as well. The same thing with organizations, and you can identify the goals that this task is tied to. So let's say I've gone in and added a bunch of tasks. Now I'm going to see all of the tasks where I've clicked on tasks to focus on today. So you can see there's 3 of them here, and I can go in and actually look at my pending tasks as well and see if any of those are ones that I want to focus on today. Let's see, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to make sure that's clicked on. It is. And then what I can also do is I can drag the order of these tasks. So the action plan and the tasks are designed again to align with your vision, so that you're always focused on progressing and making as much progress as you can. So does the system help you to identify and to focus on the right thought patterns and emotional mindset that are needed for your success? So managing our thoughts and emotions is integral to achieving our goals. And so a good system should incorporate techniques for fostering the right positive and empowering mindset. The Creating You Planner can help you to master your thoughts and emotions. So you review your empowering beliefs, your vision boards, and your habits on a daily basis. So let me provide a quick overview of the journal, the personal CRM, the notes, and the Creating You Inc. book features that are in the Creating You Planner. So in the journal section of the Creating You Planner, you come in here, you can review the content to really understand the power of journaling and how it can help you in so many aspects. There's also an app tips video. You can go ahead and create your journal entries, and then you can search among your journal entries and sort by some fields. You can view all of your entries. You can search and sort within them. You can view all of your entries in a formatted PDF format, also in an unformatted PDF format. And when it comes to the personal CRM, you can add people, you can add organizations. If I click on add people, I've got a number of people in here, and I can add notes, I can add tasks, I can click on email work, and an email is going to pop up here. I can call home, I can In some cases, if they've got a mobile phone, text icon's going to show up here. You can, if you're on your smartphone, you can just click on text, and your text feature is going to show up with that person's text number embedded in the text. The same thing with calling is going to call. It's going to your calling feature on your phone is going to pop up, and again, you can put in notes and tasks. Your tasks, as it relates to this person, which not only show up here, but they would also show up in your major task list as well. So what a wonderful way to stay organized. You also have the ability to upload your people or your contacts CSV file. And let's go ahead and close that, go into organizations. You have the ability to add organizations, and you can, if I click on this organization here, I can show the contacts that I have that are titled with this organization. And again, you can add notes and tasks. You also have a basic note feature in the Create a New Planner, where you can, if you want to keep a record of that, some notes, and you want to be able to access that on your various devices, you can do that. And then we also have the Creating You Ink book, which is going to provide you a great overview and provide you some practical examples that'll help you through this whole process. And so you have the ability to view the book here. You can mark any pages that you want to, so that you have that to come back to, a bookmark essentially. You also have the ability to see the book in an EPUB format or in a Mobi book format. So the Create a New Planner helps you to discover and to turn your purpose and vision into reality. So it helps you to maximize your chances of success, to understand your unique sweet spot and purpose, to establish for yourself a very clear vision, goals, and action plan. It increases your focus and productivity. It helps you to improve your self-confidence, and it can help you to reduce your stress and procrastination. So I invite you to learn more, and you can see the link above, creating-you-ink.com. Thank you.